Well, so once again, good afternoon, everyone. This will be our last discussion for for today. So the leadership in team effectiveness, improving team and group performance and productivity. So again, we could able to provide a good output if we work, if we observe teamwork and collaborations. Sabi nga nila, two heads is better than one. Okay, for us to give us more discussions and details about the leadership and team effectiveness, let us all welcome Madam Hani. Take it away, Madam.
Good afternoon, sir. So good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Hani Tamba. So I will be discussing the leadership and team effectiveness, improving team and group performance productivity. So first, I will be, as Ms. Bandala said earlier, so leadership is defined as the process of facilitating individual and collective efforts to accomplish the shared objective. So leadership is an influential process that enables the manager to get their people work willingly towards what must be done and what ought to be done. It also defined as the relationship through which one person influences the behavior of the other people. So leaders must not only be defined departmental unit and organizational missions, but they must also be able to coordinate the activities of others and motivate them to meet mission requirements. So additionally, they must avoid or resolve issues hindering progress towards accomplishing organizational goals. So next is the characteristic or traits of a leader. Leaders' behaviors impact on their team structure, working process, and effectiveness. Leadership is not a person or a position. It is a complex moral relationship between people based on trust, obligation, commitment, emotion, and shared vision of the good. So further, there have also been several characteristics or traits on which leadership has measured or assessed. Some of the traits generally associated by the leaders are first, first is the personal drive. So personal drive, persons with drive are those identified as willing to accept responsibility, possess vigor, initiative, and persistence. So it's your personal drive that turns ideas into action and action into results. So it also keeps you going even when times are tough and challenging. So it sets the tone for what you are seeking from others in the organization. So next is the desire to lead. There are some persons who have all the qualifications of leadership, yet they could not become leaders because they have lacked one special requirement, which is the desire to lead. The desire to lead is the leaders have the strong desire to influence others. They demonstrate a willingness to take responsibility and possess the self-confidence uh, required to convince their team of the rightness of goals and decisions. Next is the personal integrity. A person who is well regarded by others as one who has integrity possesses one trait of a leader. So integrity in leaders refers to being honest, trustworthy, and reliable. Leaders with integrity act in accordance with their words. They practice, sabi nga nila, they practice what they preach and own up to their mistakes as opposed to hiding them, blaming their team, and making excuses. Next is the self-confidence. Self-confidence, the activities of leaders requires moves that will produce the needed outputs. So the step of conceptualizing, organizing, and implementing will be completed if sustained efforts are made. So self-confidence is necessary for leader to take risks and accomplish high goals. Leaders who are self-confident tend to deal immediately and directly with problems and conflicts. Analytical ability. So leaders are often faced with difficulties that prevent the completion of assigned tasks. Ability to analyze is one desirable trait that a leader can use over many challenges. So kailangan natin maging analyze yung mga problems para mabigyan natin siya ng, para makapagbigay tayo ng magandang decision making. Next is the charisma. When a person has sufficient personal magnetism that leads people to follow his directives. So these characteristics was greatly responsible for whatever accomplishments they achieve. So next is the principle of leadership. So each leader chooses his or her unique formula for success, but still there are few key points for an affluent leader that need to be followed. So first is know yourself and seek for self-improvement. So the leader should be aware of key pointers in order to move his organization forward. So having a strong values that may guide your life. So being acutely aware of the structure of the organization and his or her personal responsibilities. So executing the ideas effectively. Next is setting an example. So the best way for a leader to influence his team members is by setting a good example. So leaders should empower people, their greatest potential, even in the hard times. Leaders should be ready to face the challenge with confidence, determination towards success. So most of the time, dapat yung isang leader is para maging kalmado din siya, para at least para maintindihan din niya kung bakit minsan hindi ma-achieve yung isang goal. So dapat nagiging realistic din siya sa pag-set ng goals niya. Choosing a team, leaders should look for people who understand his vision and have particular set of abilities. So dapat align din yung vision ng leader at saka yung team niya para towards doon sa achieving ng organizational goals. Have a clear vision and goals. So as a leader, their vision should enable them to encourage individuals towards goals that benefit entire organization. So great leaders are able to see beyond what's possible today and look forward what is possible in the future. So by understanding the way things work or don't work, a leader can make a big decisions about how to move forward if they have a clear vision and goals. So their vision should be enable them to encourage individuals towards goals that benefit the entire organization. So great leaders are able to see beyond what is possible today and the future. Unity is strength. So team is the most important resource of every leader. So leaders should embrace what is unity each and every day. So as long as your team is united, nothing can stay in a way to success. So make sure that all people in the team consider themselves as members of a strong, unified family. In the public sector, hindi talaga maiwasan minsan na mag-change ng management. So kailangan mo pa din suportahan whoever man yung malagay doon sa position para ma-achieve nyo pa rin naman yung common goals. So, kailangan talaga yung unity sa isang organization para mas madali, para yung productivity and performance ng isang organizations and yung goals nila is ma-achieve. Theories of leadership. So different leadership theories were developed to explain what exactly makes a great leader, why certain people become a great leaders. These are the major leadership theories. So first is the great man theory, the trait theory, and the behavioral theory. Great man theory is the theory that can be described with one point, born to lead. So great leaders are simply with the necessary internal characteristics such as charisma, as I discussed earlier, uh, that makes them natural born leaders. This theory believes that great leaders are born and not made. So they have leadership qualities inherently in them. So for the trait theory tries to describe types of behavior and personality tendencies associated with effective leadership. So this theory attempts to answer why some people are good leaders and others are not. In fact, the theory can be traced back in the 19th century, a man called Thomas Carlyle, such and used such understanding to identify the talents, skills, and characteristics of men who rose to power. The key characteristic of this theory include tina- tenacity, tenacity, energy, good cognitive skills, and capable of using good judgment and decisions, flexibility, creativity, charisma, and confidence. For the behavioral theory of leadership focus on the study of specific behaviors of a leader. The main difference between these two theories is traits are not something that can be taught to a person, while traits can be developed over time. Typically, cannot taught to someone, they have to learn it on their own and let it develop in comparison to the behaviors that can be learned. So the leadership skills. For the leadership skills, so we have the technical skills, human skills, and conceptual skills. So these are the skills a leader must possess to enable him to understand and make decisions about work processes, activities, and technology. So technical skills is specialized knowledge needed to perform a job. These skills are required for the lower management level. So next is the human skills. These skills refers to the ability of leader to deal with people, so both inside and outside the organization. Good leader must know how to get along with people, motivate them, and inspire them. It includes coaching, communicating, moral building, training and development, help and supportiveness, and delegating. So it is important also for a leader the human skills. So dapat marunong kang makihalubilo sa tao mo para mas maintindihan mo yung mga pinanggagalingan nila, yung mga experiences nila. So next is the conceptual skills. So skills refers to the ability to think in abstract terms, to see how parts fit together to form the whole. So these are the leadership skills and their use at various management levels. So for top management, they are more on conceptual than technical skills, human skills. For the middle, so they are middle management, more on conceptual, also technical. So for the lower management, they are more on technical skills sila kasi sila yung nasa pinakabababa. So mas magaguide nila yung tao nila and mas dapat may knowledge talaga sila sa technical skills. Team effectiveness, there is no I in team. So, and this is the secret of a team to success. So what is a team? A team is a group of individuals or working together for a common purpose. So, yung team, may pinoforesee silang purpose at mas focus sila sa isang common goals, the common purpose sila as a team to achieve the organizational goal. The difference between team and group, a team must have individuals with common objective to achieve. This should work together to strive towards the achievement of a common goal. So while a group can have individuals with varied interests, attitude, as well as thought processes, it is necessary that it is not necessary that the group members would have a common objective or common goal to achieve. What is team effectiveness? This refers to the system of getting people in an organization to work together effectively. So there are different model of effectiveness model. So this model is this team effectiveness model is from the book of Wisdom of Team by John Katzenbach and Douglas Smith. Uh, this team effectiveness model in 2019 is best suited for getting individuals to view objective with a team first mindset. It suggests three potential outcomes. The team should strive for collective work product, performance result, and personal growth. So to reach these goals, the productive team must have three necessary components. These make up the sides of the triangle: the skills, the accountability, and the commitment. So for the commitment, the teams are committed when they have meaningful purpose, specific goals, and common approach to their work. With the total commitment from team members, achieving organizational goals becomes easier. So for skills, team members need skills in problem solving, technical skills to accomplish their craft, and interpersonal skills to enhance teamwork. Next is the accountability. So the team members must have personal and mutual accountability. So characteristics of an effective team. So success in the workplace depends on the ability to build a team as well as interact with the others in the team. So yung characteristic to become a good and effective team is this should have a clear direction. So teams understand the goals and it is committed in attaining them. So team clarity is enforced when the organization has clear expectations for the team, for the teamwork, goals, accountability, and outcomes. Open doors and clear communications. So communication is the crucial building as a sense of camaraderie between team members. So clear and transparent communication is when the team is able to communicate effectively and there's a feeling of open communicative relations between all members of the group. So all issues are handled by face-to-face communication and team members do not talk behind each other's. Collaboration spirit. Through a thorough and close collaboration is a trait shared by every high-performing team. Or it can be difficult, especially if some members possess strong personalities. But successful teams tend to have strong leaders that are able to keep everybody on the same page. So kailangan strong leader. Kasi kung sa isang team, may times talaga na magbabangayan or mayroong hindi pagkakaunawaan kasi it's a sharing of ideas. Next is playing by the rules. Any team should have a set of rules that determines its operating procedures and acts. This set helps to keep the team on track and eliminate the ambiguity. It means that everyone has to agree to the rules beforehand. So next is defined rules. So skill sets, specific roles, and thinking styles are required for teams. If it is needed to develop a new product, the team will need to a data-oriented person who can keep the team on track. A mutual accountability, high-performing teams accept responsibilities as individuals and as a team. So team members should not blame one another or mistake for mistakes and failure. So no one should spend time in personal justifications. So dapat mutual accountability. Role of HR in improving and developing high performance teams. As a key strategic function, HR can facilitate teams for high performance and achieving a super quality benchmark at work. So the key role of HR in organization for motivating and facilitating high performance team, first is selecting the right talent pool and facilitating team cohesiveness. So by recruiting the right mix and composition of teams for varied responsibilities, the HR team contribute to setting up of high performance teams in the optimum skills, knowledge, and expertise. Resolution and conflicts. So the HR teams can assist in conflict resolution by implementing the policy framework, enforcing disciplinary mechanism, and most importantly, understanding the differences in the working styles of the individual members in the group. So next is the foster collaboration. So by implementing best practices and bringing together the diverse competences as well as experiences of team members, the HR teams drive optimum employee performance and motivate the high performers. Communication, effective communication and free flow exchange of ideas is the hallmark of high performance team. So HR teams can play the role of facilitators, mentors, and guide the team members in conflict resolution process as well as the implementations of critical decisions constructively by strengthening the communication framework. Training of the team. So HR department have a key role to play in upskilling, strengthening of the competences of the team members, both personally and technically, for improving opportunities of their career growth and developing high-performance organizations. So building appropriate reward and recognition framework. So HR is responsible for planning and implementing an appropriate reward recognition strategy and motivating high-performing individuals as well as teams. So role of HR in metrics development and performance measurement system. The key focus of HR is to measure the outcome of various performance initiatives by establishing evaluation matrix and smart performance measurement framework. So that's all. Thank you.
Christian. Okay, so as what our presenter discussed about the team effectiveness, of course, and some legal issues, we need to consider that the team effectiveness is also measured by outputs, no? Linking it to team and performance. So because team performance is a component of team effectiveness because teams are generally considered to perform well when they yield superior outputs, which is one of the metrics of team effectiveness mentioned. No? This fits with, of course, with a team who define performance, a product of team members working together toward goals and drawing up at their on their pool of individual and shared resources. So maybe somebody asking what makes a team effective in practice, no? If we conceptualize an effective team as one of the yield maximal measurable output, then an effective team is one of that yields high performance, high team member satisfaction, and team viability. The teams vary in terms of their performance, so it is important to identify interventions that are effective in boosting team effectiveness. No? Actually, there are some several types of team development intervention, like team training, leadership training. We have team building, team debriefing, simulation training, crew resource management or yung CRM training, team-based intervention training, and so on. Of course, before implementing interventions, gathered information on context and needs, it is important in all general training to conduct a need analysis now at both the organizational team and individual level, and to ensure that training objectives are aligned with the objectives of the firm or the organization. The most effective, of course, is to use, for example, the TDIs, no? A variety of training methods and techniques to incorporate information, demonstration, hands-on experience, and feedback sessions. No, leadership training needs to focus on equipping team leaders with interpersonal and intrapersonal skills to enable them to increase teamwork effectiveness. Because organization can focus on specific types of leadership training such as transformational or sometimes visionary leadership, no? That include a focus on empowering team members. No? Then right after, of course, we need to have an evaluation. No? Evaluation is important with a focus on cognitive and skill-based outputs to ensure that leaders have acquired the necessary skills to foster team effectiveness. When designing team training, it is important to establish goals at the team level rather than focus on individual progress. In addition to outcome, such as performance, professionals can also evaluate team processes such as communication. And it is important to ensure that the team members feel psychologically safe during the training process. No? For effective management, specifically when it comes to team building, no, professionals should conduct a need analysis to determine competencies that team members need, such as problem solving or goal setting and others. It is also important during team building to include instructional techniques that enhance team self-discovery. And this can include discussion and exercises that focus on self-assessment and plans that guide teams to establish agreement. And finally, the best practices, no, for effective team debriefing include examining whether team members are ready to experience debriefing. And this includes ensuring that within teams, there exists a psychological safe environment so that team members feel comfortable expressing their viewpoints. Okay. Of course, again, it is very important, no, that effective teams are those that are productive and also have strong team processes to ensure that they reach their goals. No, the organizations, either private or public, can enhance team effectiveness using team development intervention, or the TDI, that focus on equipping leaders and team members with skills and competencies, and also foster a beneficial organizational environment, which allow team members to be more effective. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Thank you and good morning. Good afternoon.